All right, guys, what's going on? I've had a lot of progress with the shelves and all, and things are looking nice. Tomorrow, I'm gonna end up buying another shelf and putting it together, and I hope that's the only one I need. I hope I just need this last shelf. It's possible that I'll need two more because I've gone through everything. I know you guys can't see it. I'm actually sitting down on the floor right now, but I've got the whole table of that's all nonfiction there, and then I've got some stacks of nonfiction around me, and I've still got a good chunk of fiction around me. But most things I was able to put on all the shelves, and I think, geez, that reflection right there is bothering me. But I think if I get just one more that's long, this one right here is the longest one. All the other shelves are like the same size, more or less. This one's just like extremely long. I don't know how I ended up with this one, or why I only bought one really long shelf. It must have just been like an accident. I'm sure all the other shelves are just like the standard shelf size, and I think this one must have just been like a one-off thing. I don't know why they had like a shelf like this long, but there was, and this is like my favorite shelf right here. If I could get one more like this size, I think that might take care of everything. But there's not a whole lot going on today. I wasn't even gonna do this vlog, but then I was talking to my buddy about it, and uh, there's that glare again in my face. But I was talking to my buddy about it, and I was like, why not? Because the one time I did not do a vlog, me and him ended up having just like the greatest thrift store finds. So I was just like, maybe I'll do this vlog. Maybe I'll go to the thrift store and we'll sell these off at half price books. And I know there's not a whole lot going on in this vlog, so I don't know. Either one of two things is gonna happen. Either this will just be like a nice, short, simple vlog, or two, I'm gonna end up merging this with like an update of all right, now I bought the shelf, and then we'll have like a few bits and pieces of things over the weekend coming into one big vlog. One or the other, we'll figure it out when I'm done, and and we'll see what footage I have. But I'm doing like a tiny unhaul, just a very tiny unhaul, and I'm gonna show you guys now. So we don't have a whole lot. It's very small. I'm guessing I'm gonna get like 750 for this. You guys probably recognize this first stack here because I've got these 4 Alfred Hitchcock hardcovers now. I did buy these like a couple months ago, so this is an L for me. This is L on my part because I did buy these, and I was like, oh, I'll throw it in my Alfred Hitchcock collection. Well, then I just started downsizing, and I just, it's just one of those things that just yeah, they're cool, but I really do not have space for anything I'm not gonna revisit or urgently want to read or have any purpose for. And like you guys have seen, I've got like a million of those Hitchcock paperbacks, so it's just these ones I just do not need. So this is Alfred Hitchcock Presents Stories That Go Bump in the Night, and I'm pretty sure I even have this one in soft cover. The soft cover has different art, but I'm pretty sure just from the title, Stories That Go Bump in the Night, I'm pretty sure that's one that I already have. And Alfred Hitchcock Presents The Master's Choice, and then this one's A Brief Darkness, with probably the worst cover out of all of them, because that doesn't even if that's supposed to be Hitchcock, I mean, it doesn't even really look like him. But then and final one, Tales of the Supernatural and the Fantastic. And yes, those 4 hardcovers, I think I spent like $3 or $4 on. I might have even had like a 10% off coupon because they gave me a coupon book back in January that has a coupon for every month or every 2 months. And so I'm pretty sure I even bought those with 10% off. So they probably were like $3 to $4 each. Then I had 10% off. So it is an L, and it's been too long to just go in and return it. I don't have the receipt, and I'm sure if I walked in, they'd be like, oh, well, it was months ago and blah blah blah. No, and I just don't want to look like an idiot. But then we have just a small stack here. I think it's all fiction except one book at the end. But this first book is called Goth. I have no clue how to say the author's name. This is a Japanese horror novel. Now, I did read one Japanese horror novel, Audition, and I do have Spiral and Spirals, which they have printed and reprinted the books that became the Ring movies, and I think they've even reprinted some of those under a couple different names. So I had a little bit of confusion and trouble a few years ago, after I bought those. Yeah, I found one that was like under like a different name, but it was the same book, and I was like a little confused, like how many books there were in the series. But I have at least a couple of them, and one day I will read those eventually. But um, recently after reading a few Vladimir Nabokov books, which we'll have the everything I read in June and July video very, very soon here. Um, After that, I was like, why don't I read more foreign authors? And so that's why at first I was like, I'll keep this book, but then just looking around it, like I kind of like blind bought this one around the time I bought Audition, and just looking at it now, it just seems like a little like haha, so silly. Like I'm just tired of like books like this where like here I've got the description on the screen if you guys want to read the whole thing, but it's basically like, oh my god, like she's so quirky and obsessed with serial killers, and it just yeah, I'm just like, I don't know, maybe it actually is good, but it's just, I gotta clear up space, and if it's not really urgent, then we'll get rid of it. I don't even remember how I came across this book. This is just a pulpy paperback, The Caged by Fan Nichols. Never heard of this author really, outside of this paperback, and it's just, I don't know, one of those things where I'm just like, we'll just get rid of like as much as we can. This one's The Auctioneer by Joan Samson, and I'm pretty sure this might be her only book, or maybe she only published like 2 books. I believe this author died pretty young, maybe of cancer. And I remember when this book came out, everybody was like, "Oh my god, I cannot wait for this, for The Auctioneer by Joan Samson, like some hidden gems, some lost classic." And I did a review of this on my old channel, but this book drove me insane because it sucked so bad. It was just really boring. The only reason I pushed through it is because it was a paperbacks from Hell reprint, and I was doing this. I kind of challenged myself. I was like, I'm gonna read every paperback from Hell that Valancourt Books reprints, and I'm gonna do a review of each of them. And some of them were actually pretty good. There were like a couple that were like legitimately good. There were like a few that were like cheesy, silly, dumb horror paperback level of good, and then some were just really awful, dude. So The Auctioneer, I just did not like this, and like basically my little review of it for you guys is that basically some guy comes to a town and he's like, I'm gonna run some auctions here, and then everybody in the town just like gives him all that they have, and everyone is just stupid, and they're all like, oh no, why are we all giving him all our things? Let's continue to give him more things. It's just like the stupidest plot, and I guess just like horror, the bar is so low that horror fans will just eat up anything. I know I sure did, but this was one of the things that I did not eat up, and yeah, I just do not like The Auctioneer. I don't understand people that do. There's just nothing good about this book. It's so dumb and boring, and so that's why after like The Auctioneer and a few other dumb horror novels like broke me, I was just like, you know what? I'm just if I don't like a book, I'm not gonna finish it. I used to be like Larry David. He's in an episode of Curb. He's like, it doesn't matter. I finish things I start. If a book is like 500 pages and I hate it, I just have to finish it. And oh my god, so that used to be me. But now if I'm not liking it, I'm not gonna finish it. So this book is Offbeat by Richard Matheson. I know he's a pretty revered writer when it comes to horror novels and stuff, but this was the only thing of his that I have actually read, and well, I didn't even read the whole thing. This is a short story collection. I probably read 3 or 4 stories in here and just was not feeling them. I think these are supposed to be like, well, it says uncollected stories, so these might be like lesser known Richard Matheson stories, and they might have been lesser known for a reason. Now, I totally dig finding something that was like obscure or lesser known and turns out to be good, but they can't all be good, unfortunately, and this one just was not for me. This one is Worms. Now, Worms is one I think I got back in like, let's say 2020 or 2021, and every year I'm like, I'm gonna read Worms in October. I don't know why, but I was just always just like, Worms, oh yeah, it's gonna be like the one that I read, and I never read it. Never did. I'm scared of worms. I hate bugs, especially worms. They freak me out. And I still remember one time when I was a kid, and one of my aunts was over, and oh my god, this is like this story. Like you all are gonna be like, this is it, but like this story still gets me. So we were like raking up leaves and like putting them in garbage bags, and I remember one time like pushing it down like the leaves, and then I take my hand out and there's a worm on the back of my hand, and I just I think I just like kind of like that and like shrieked and like ran into the house, and everybody's like, "What's wrong with this guy?" But uh, I'm very scared of worms, and I'm autistic. So next is another book by somebody that's pretty popular with horror readers, and that's Richard Lehman. I've never read any Richard Lehman. I think I probably did keep a couple of his books because I am interested in reading some Richard Lehman, but you know, I was just looking at like the synopsis and stuff and just like poking around this book, and it all like, maybe I'm wrong, I could be wrong, but it just feels like it's gonna be just a rather generic, just like, oh no, he killed people, oh no, and then like what, like, here, what is it like? I don't know. This always kind of makes me cringe when like descriptions like this always kind of set up the characters as like, I'm not like other girls or I'm not like other guys. You know, I just kind of, you know, it's always like, haha, I'm so dark and quirky. I love strange things. This one says, many people have a hobby that verges on obsession. Albert Prince's obsession happens to be cutting people, especially pretty girls. There's nothing he loves more than breaking into a stranger's house and letting his imagination and his knife run wild. Albert's on the run now, heading cross country, but he's not about to stop having fun. I mean, like, I don't know. I mean, look, if this were like a movie and it would be over in like 90 minutes, I'd be like, yeah, I'll give it a shot. But it's just like 300. Am I going to read just 300 pages of just like generic slop? I mean, I'm not saying that I got rid of everything that's generic slop. I don't own any generic slop. Maybe I do. And sometimes, you know what? Reading generic slop can be fun. But I'm not really trying to do that anymore. I'm just, I'm trying to read things. When it comes to fiction, I want to read something meaningful, something I'll get out of it. And when it comes to nonfiction, same thing. I just, I want something meaningful. I want to learn something. When it comes to fiction, like I want some good characters. I want some like emotion there. And it's just, the honest truth is just that most horror novels do not have that. Now, I don't think it's impossible. I just think it's done very few and far between. And I just think for some reason, maybe because you don't even, maybe it's because you don't even have to think too much about it. You could just have a dumb killer there that kills people. You could have a dinosaur, a dumb monster, whatever. Things just go wrong and you don't really have to do that much work. When it comes to writing something that's actually good, writing good characters and a plot and a setting and all that stuff, it all takes a lot of work. Like right now I'm reading The Last Picture Show, and that's not really a book. Like you could phone it in. Same thing with the I think how many did I read, like 3 Vladimir Nabokov novels, and they're not the kind of thing like you could just phone in. Like being a good writer is tough. Being a good horror writer, probably not. And yeah, I mean, it's not impossible. Like there are great horror novels, and I'm not putting you guys on to anything like that you don't already know, but like Rosemary's Baby, The Stepford Wives, The Exorcist, Legion, those kind of things. Like I know those are like the very popular, like everybody's read them, but everybody has for a reason. Like you're not going to find any characters as good as in those books, like in anything else. You're not going to find them. Like when it comes to horror novels, like you're just not. So, anyways, the 3 more books. So the next one is Carnosaur by Harry Adam Knight, and this was just one, like when it came out, I was like, Valancourt's publishing a new book, I'm just gonna buy it just because they're the ones putting it out, and of course I'll read the Jurassic Park ripoff, even though I've never read Jurassic Park, but I have a copy. And yeah, I don't know, I mean, just like the older I get, the more I'm just like, I'll just never read a dumb book about a dinosaur. Like I'm just not gonna do it. Like if I read one, it's gonna be Jurassic Park, but even that I'm in like no hurry to read. And this one's The Fungus by Harry Adam Knight. It's just similar to like the Worms, where I was just like, oh, a fungus, that'll be great, that's weird, like I'll read this in October. The Fungus and Worms, I was gonna read them like so many times, but then I would just always grab something else, and I never did. And yeah, it's just one for the pile. And final one is Monster, She Wrote, which is about different female horror authors. And I did read this book. I think this is, so what is this, like one of the only like 2 that I did read entirely, like this one and The Auctioneer, and then the Richard Matheson one, I kind of only read a few stories from that. But this one I read it, and it was all right, but I don't really see any reason why I need it. It's just one I'm never going to revisit. Valancourt did reprint a few of the authors that are mentioned in here, and I do have a few of those books, have not read them, But yeah, it's just, I don't know, I just really don't need it. So that's a little stack of books here, all fiction except for one nonfiction. So I don't know. Can I maybe get like seven? I would be cool with a cool like $7.50. Like maybe I'll buy some lottery tickets with that. But you know what, guys? I kind of do want to go thrifting. So because I'm just really digging going to this thrift store because I have such good deals, and I'm still on the lookout for a few things for Pretty Women, 10 Things I Hate About You. Um, and geez, what else is on my list? I was just thinking, oh, Bring It On. That's, yeah. So my list is like pretty simple. I've got like a pretty simple list of movies I want, and we'll see if I can find them. So I'm gonna go there, and then I'm gonna go to Half Price Books. I'm gonna sell these at Half Price Books, and then we might just stop in at Disc Replay only because I've still got that $10 off coupon, and it expires at the end of the month, and I don't know. Maybe they got some new stuff in since then. I'll just go in and kind of look at their. I'll look around, but I like that they have a big shelf of like new in store, whatever, like whatever just came in. Like they'll put new things on this like big shelf. So that's kind of what we're up to today, guys. So okay, guys, that was a bit of a bust. There was nothing I really needed. I did see a few interesting things. I was actually pretty close to buying some stuff. So they had the first 3 seasons of Mad Men for like about $8 total between all 3 seasons. I was like, oh, what a deal! $8 on Blu-ray. And then I started to look it up and see the prices of the other seasons, and I was doing the math, and I was just like, it doesn't really make much sense to get these 3 for $8, and I had to track down all the other seasons. Like, then I'd had to buy 4, 5, 6, and then they split up season 7 into 2 parts. So that's 5 more I would have to purchase. When I see on eBay they have the whole series on DVD for like $40, it's just a much better deal, much better deal. So I didn't pull the trigger on it because I don't need it like right now. I was just looking for steals. But yeah, just nothing else I really needed. I mean, I did see they had like an Audrey Hepburn 3 movie set. I was kind of close to getting it, but I was just like, do I really need these? Like, I don't want to like consume again just to consume. And I know they're probably going to be good movies, but I'm not out here just trying to like, oh, I'll just buy everything I see. I really just like, if it's something I've been looking for and it's like a really great deal, like I'll buy it. Or something like unexpectedly I find that's like a really good deal. Like if they had like all the seasons of Mad Men and it was just like they were all like $3 each, $2, like I would have bought like all the seasons because that's like a crazy like cool find. Like if they had all the seasons, but yeah, so nothing I needed, so nothing from my list. Um, I'm not really counting on Half Price Books to have much from my list either. They do have Pretty Woman, but it's just like a smidge too much. It's like it should not be more than $5, and they wanted like $7.50 for it before tax, and I'm just like, I'll like I'm like, I mean, you guys know if you've been watching the vlogs, like I'm looking for deals. I'm looking for like cheap DVDs. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I need like a really good deal, but we'll see what happens when we go to Half Price Books, and then I am gonna stop in just like super quick at Disc Replay after that. So we'll see what happens. Okay, guys, that was like my quickest trip ever to Half Price Books, and they gave me 1903. I was hoping for 750. My buddy Andrew guessed 1703, and they gave me 1902 or 1903, something like that, like $19 and a couple cents. So awesome. I didn't even get to look through all the clearance stuff because they were like super quick. I was literally in there for like 3 minutes total, and they were like, okay, cool, ready. So yeah, so now we're gonna go to Disc Replay, and we'll see. Please just let me cross one movie off the list, please. They have to have at least one of these ones I'm looking for. Like, I'm looking for like the most common movies. I'm not looking for anything too crazy, okay? All right, cool. So we ended up with a mini haul from Disc Replay here. I had the $10 off coupon, and it's buy 3 get 1 free on movies that are $9.99 and under. So we got 4 movies here, no particular order. Starting with the only Blu-ray that I got, which is Boogie Nights for $9. I love this movie. I've only streamed it. I'm very excited for the director's commentary, although I do laugh when I see additional scenes because this movie was long enough. I took off half a star for the length. I gave it 4.5 stars on Letterboxd. It's just like a little too long. There's just like 2 very specific scenes where I was just like, I could have done without those. But really fun movie. And then we got this triple feature of Prom Night 2, and Prom Night 4. Prom Night 1, I do not like. Prom Night 2 is really awesome. I've never seen 3 or 4, and the remake was cool. So honestly, I just bought this for part 2. And then we've got, I've been looking for this one for a while now. Actually, I forgot to put it on my little list of movies, and then I remembered the other day, and I think I might have actually taken it off by accident when I was clearing out some ones I already found. I was like, whatever happened to Prairie Home Companion? So I just got this one, and it's got the awesome Blockbuster case. I'm getting a little collection of these Blockbuster cases. I really dig them. So yeah, I know nothing about this movie, but it's got a huge cast, and it's a Robert Altman movie, and I'm kind of in Robert Altman phase 2.0, kind of. And then, forgive me if I pronounce this kind of goofily, but is it Machete? I don't know. But this is a recommend from my buddy Drew, because I needed one more movie. I was like, Drew, what do I get? He's like, I don't know. And I was like, just pick a letter, and I'll go to that section. I was really hoping he would pick a letter, but he didn't. He was like, Machete, get Machete. And I was like, okay, I'll get it. So yeah, I just picked this up, and yeah, I know nothing about it really. So that's a little haul. So I'm still undecided if I want to mix in this video with whatever I do over the weekend when I get the bookshelf or not. So if I do a separate video for that, then bye. But if I do one big video, then there'll probably be more after this, and you'll know by the runtime.